It's Kelsey. Today we're going to be painting an apple on a picnic table up against the clear blue summer sky. So I started by applying some blending medium to the canvas so that I could move around the blue paint to make the fluffy white clouds. I ended up not using the purple in the clouds because after I'd applied the dark blue onto the lighter blue, my sky looked perfect without it. So next, I wanted to paint my picnic table, and there wasn't really anything super special about it. Also, if you were wondering, this purple under my fingernail is when I bent my nail so far backwards that I almost passed out while I was driving. I was trying to break a skinny little dog bone for Remy, and it turned out to be a whole lot tougher than I had expected. And after I about died breaking it, he didn't eat it. Like, what is this foolishness? Anyway, so I intended to put some red and yellow into the picnic table in order to kind of match the apple. Not really match it, but sort of just tie into it. But here again, the brown with the tan highlights was enough for me. So now for the apple. I just kind of wanted to draw a beautiful crimson apple. I love magenta and violet mixed with ruby, so I wanted to create this wildly vibrant apple. I was inspired to paint an apple first because there's beauty in small things like apples. Apples aren't a necessary food. They're delicious and they provide a lot of nutrients. But human beings wouldn't completely die off if they were gone. You know what I mean? So to me, apples are evidence of some sort of tender provision that not only cares about our needs, but also kindly creates something beautiful and sweet and lovely. It sort of reminds me of a scene in one of the Sherlock Holmes books where Sherlock is completely enthralled by this rose. He said, "Our highest assurance of the goodness of Providence seems to me to rest in the flowers, because they are an embellishment of life, not a condition to it." He said it is only goodness that gives extras. And so we have much to hope from the flowers. So I kind of feel that way about apples. As someone who's continually falling into the depths of Christianity, my God is one whose goodness overflows so much that it's in his very nature to create beauty and embellishments like apples. My commentary on Job that I'm reading said that God's very act of making mankind was a commitment, a covenant promise made through steadfast love. Now, of course, this loving God is also a mysterious God, and I would be naive to represent only the loving, apple-making God. We can't forget about the tragedy that happened to Job, after all, not to mention the millions of tragedies that have happened since then. But I've been reading this really good book. It's called The Reason for God by Timothy Keller. And he said something that sort of broke apart my foundational thinking about tragedy and suffering. He said that through Christ, everything sad will somehow be greater for having once been broken and lost. So through Jesus, our dereliction can never again be as dark as Job's. The lesser Calvaries that we experience on a daily basis will become meaningful through the central Calvary. And so the apple is evidence that there is hope and that there will be a restoration of all that is broken. This takes a daring, believing, and adventurous kind of faith. Sometimes a painful and exacting sort of faith that's hard fought and yet still only halfway there. But faith nonetheless. And seeing beautiful things like apples in this way bring us one step closer. Thanks for watching my video. As always, like, subscribe, comment. Don't like, don't subscribe, don't comment. Be true to yourself. Later.